obviously there are like big things that you do as vice president, like staff hopping, but the main role, the thing that is, I think is the most work over the year, is supporting everyone else in the community and making sure always there. So what are your kind of opinions on how you can do that?
I'm going to go reverse over first and then take it.
So I think the main thing is to be very organised and just get things done, because communication is usually key. Like, you have that time lag before getting things done because it will take ages to reply. I mean, I know personal messaging, I'm really bad, but when it comes to actual things that matter, like important organisational things, and I have responsibilities that I have to answer for, I'm really good at that. And I just bash it out. So.
Yeah, so I think I sort of talked about it a little bit in my speech, but I think supporting the rest of the JCSU is a really important thing, especially for Vice President, ensuring that everything goes smoothly. If people need a hand with things, get things done on time. And I think part of that is just being really organised, and I like to think that people would think I am organised. But another part of that is just being really passionate about something, because it's a bit of time, it's a bit of dedication, it's a lot of sort of grunt work, not necessarily that fun, but it's got to be done. And I really enjoy Jesus. I think it's a lovely atmosphere here, and I really want to give back to the people so that they can have as good a time as I've had. And so I think it's that sort of enthusiasm which hopefully will let me do that for you guys.
So that was one of the reasons I applied to be Vice President, was because when I was looking at, I knew I wanted to do something in the JCSU, but there was a variety of things that interested me. So like access really interested me, communications and welfare, and I thought Vice President was something where I can support everyone and also exercise what I'm interested in. And it was just, I'd be very passionate about supporting everyone, and when I'm passionate about something, I'm going to dedicate time to it. I'm going to make sure that it's a priority and something that when I love to do something, I'll do it well.
Great. And is there any questions from the floor for the Vice President? Go for it again.
So another big part of the role is going to QC Council every 2 weeks. How would you attempt to try and increase awareness of QC, the running of QC Council and any events that QC have in college?
So with KUSU Council, I think one of the problems is that it's often quite difficult to know exactly when the meetings are. So I was trying to find on the website when the meetings were, and I found it so difficult. And then I realised that it was a Facebook event, and as Fado mentioned before, it does exclude people and people aren't aware. And also I couldn't find an agenda for what was going to be discussed. So I was thinking, even if there's people who wanted to go, they wouldn't know what was going to happen, they wouldn't know the process. They do have a KUSU motions page which helps you decide the motions, but I think for an incoming fresher it's something really intimidating. You don't know if it's appropriate that you should be going to it, and I think from this experience I'd use this to help engage people and also make what they do accessible, because they do an amazing job, and I think it's a shame that people aren't aware of it.
Yeah, I think it's really important, first of all, to be there to make sure Jesus has a voice in YC, but I think perhaps more importantly is making people aware. I think a lot of people really have no idea what happens at KUSU meetings. And so if I was to target anything, it would be trying to make people more aware of why we go, what happens, what's done there, and what their sort of stake in it is. Because I feel at the moment a lot of people, they sort of hear KUSU, they know it's this sort of big body, but they don't actually know what happens there. And that would be what I aim to try and solve, is try and get people more engaged with it.
Yeah, just like Toby said, I still don't really know what KUSU does 100%, to be honest. So I think one thing I could work on is I could make a very concise, summarized version of what actually goes on, and then put it in the Freshers Handbook. So when you come in, you kind of know how the student side of the university works, and then how the academic, schooling side works. So how it fits together. I think it's quite ambiguous to a lot of people. And just sort of talk about it on a daily basis. Maybe do society heads and things so they're more aware.